Have you two been playing with this? Taking turns scaring the wits out of each other? No wonder I can't get a good night's sleep. No, I don't want to hear another word. Now get back to bed, the lot of you!
If you're feeling lonely and need someone by your side, we suggest you watch these films so you won't feel lonely anymore. Well, it's better to have someone, even if it's a ghost by your side, than no one, right? Who knows? They might make great friends and won't leave your side unless you call an exorcist. Now that's true friendship. Horror movies give the audience a spine-chilling experience, but what makes them even more terrifying is for audiences to learn that the horror movie they saw was actually based on true events and not just a random story. Welcome back to our channel, guys, and in today's video, we will be counting down the top 10 movies based on real events or people. Before we begin, don't forget to hit that shiny subscribe icon so that you never miss any video from us. Number 10, A Nightmare on Elm Street. Demons killing people in their sleep has not been proven, but A Nightmare on Elm Street was inspired by something truly terrifying.
1. Ready or not, here I come.
The story is based on an immigrant family. Their youngest boy had recurring nightmares about something chasing him. Because of this, he would try to stay awake for days at a time, and when he fell asleep, he screamed throughout the night, but by the time his family came to his aid, he was dead. And the most terrifying thing about the incident is the fact that the medical report said there was nothing wrong with the boy physically. Number 9, The Strangers. This movie has psychopaths and murders. Everyone fears being home alone, and everyone fears experiencing a home invasion by strangers. This movie happens to take this fear to the next level and takes the audience on a horror spree.
See you later.
The director of this movie drew inspiration from the murders by serial killer Charles Manson and a series of events that took place near his childhood home. If you love gripping movies that scare till the very end, then you should definitely watch this one. Number 8, The Conjuring. This movie is about the Warrens as they attempt to help the Perron family survive a paranormal haunting in their new farmhouse. The haunting began almost immediately after the Perron family moved in without any information about the dark and tragic history of the house. The real estate agent apparently knew the history but didn't disclose anything, only suggesting they leave the lights on at night. Ed and Lorraine Warren are real-life paranormal investigators who claim that this case was exceptionally hard for them to deal with. While most people know about Ed and Lorraine Warren's cases after the success of The Conjuring, it's still surprising and terrifying knowing that the movies in this universe are based on true events. Number 7, The Possession. This movie is based on a haunted wine cabinet, also known as the Dybbuk box. A young girl is drawn to an antique wooden box she finds at a yard sale, but in real life, this wooden box was actually sold on eBay. Whoever bought that box faced its consequences. In both versions, fictional and real, strange and spooky things began happening to the new owners of the box. The story came into the limelight when numerous owners reported strange things happening to them on eBay. So next time you buy something online, make sure it's not possessed. Number 6, The Exorcist. The Exorcist was the biggest horror movie of its time in the 70s. It is based on a book that is based on the real life of a boy named Roland Doe, who was possessed by demons in 1949.
The power of Christ compels you! The power of Christ compels you! The power of Christ compels you!
The exorcism was so scary that there have been books written on people who witnessed it. It is a 50-year-old movie, but this story will give you goosebumps, all for real reasons. Before we move on to the top 5 in our list, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so that you never miss another video from us. Number 5, The Shining. In 1974, Stephen King and his wife stayed in the isolated and empty hotel which ultimately gave him both an eerie feeling and the idea for his horror novel turned film, The Shining.
Hello, Danny. Come and play with us.
During his stay, he slept in a room with a haunted history and reported seeing figures, hearing unexplained noises, and having some of his belongings stolen and broken. When a hotel janitor is possessed by an evil spirit called The Shining, see into the hotel's evil past and supernatural present. The force is so strong, it causes the generator to wreak havoc on his own family. Number 4. The Amityville Horror. The Amityville Horror is the real-life story of a young couple and their 3 children after they move into a new home. The house has a tragic history as the previous owner murdered his entire family while living in the same house.
Hi, Lisa. Look what Ronnie did.
Although the couple knew about this, they still moved in, and what happened after that resulted in the book and the movie, The Amityville Horror. Jay Anson interviewed the couple, and the book that Anson wrote is considered more accurate than the movie version that was rewritten from the book. The movie apparently took too many liberties with its source material, but the truth remains that the couple and children were haunted throughout their month living in the house. Before we move to our top 3 picks for this video, here are some honorable mentions. The Dentist. It is based on a dentist who turned out to be a serial killer. I was already afraid of my dentist, and this movie seems to be another reason to add to the list. Curse of the Zodiac. Based on a serial killer called the Zodiac, this horror movie has a lot of cryptic messages and codes to decode, but at your own risk. The Rite. Do you enjoy stories on exorcism and the devil? Based on the life of one of the most famous exorcists of America, Father Gary Thomas, this movie will scare the hell out of you. One piece of advice: don't try this alone. Getting back to our list, on number 3 we have The Haunting in Connecticut. The plot of this movie is not new. You buy a new place to live and you are not happily received by the ghosts. What is scary is that we know this really happened to Al and Carmen Snedeker, who had their house over a funeral parlor. Number 2. Annabelle. The opening scene of this movie is just like that of The Conjuring, and the story continues with the scariest possessed doll there has ever been. A pregnant couple finds their home invaded by satanic cultists who are shot on the scene, and shortly after, spooky supernatural occurrences start taking place around their new home, all involving a vintage doll. You can expect some jump scares, and mostly this film is about the suspense, the not knowing what's around the corner, and the fear of an object so terrifying that you will start hating dolls in real life. Number 1. The Exorcism of Emily Rose. While many believe this movie to be fiction, The Exorcism of Emily Rose is shockingly based on a true story about a girl named Annalise Michel who was possessed by demons so strong that her exorcism took nearly a year to accomplish.
Tell me your name!
I feel sick.
Hear, therefore, and fear Satan, enemy of the faith. Give me your name, demon!
According to Annalise, she was possessed by 5 demons who would fight amongst one another to have power over her body. The movie might be scary, but the true story is truly terrifying. Real or not, horror movies always give us the experience to remember for days. Many people believe that paranormal activities are nothing but an imaginary concept created by the human mind. While many still believe these stories to be true, what do you think? Which of these movies have you already watched? Do you know about any horror movies that are based on a true story? Let us know in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to share the video with your friends. And click the subscribe icon so that you never miss another amazing video from us.